Podcast.
Hi everyone, today is April 7th, 2022. My name is Nicole Richardson and I'm from Authors Press. I'm gathered here today with James T. Young, the author of The White Dove. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, James?
Hey, James Young of Center Reach, Long Island in New York. As a teenager, I was kind of aloof, but through resilience, I had to make a choice in my life between focusing and getting a big challenge. And through that right decision, I managed to escape the dependencies that were around and in my life and hampering me down. So in this somewhat or so-called social world, I'm not without character faults, but I rid myself of a big calamity. And today I feel there's a lot of clarity in my head. And what I like to do on my own is I like deep sea fishing, working on cars, and getting haircut.
So can you tell us a little bit about your book as well, which, hold up, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but...
Yeah. Okay, so I had I was plopped into a government-assisted home at one point, and unskilled and not knowing what, and jobs hard to find. I decided to start to write, and that's how it began. And things kind of puzzled together, made the puzzle more complete, and I found a job and gained some skills in the automobile industry, as a gas attendant, learning about cars themselves, tires, batteries, starters, alternate, everything. And the story continues on getting away from the dependency in my life and adjusting, of course, to the people. And that was the hard part, because living with these people who are basically somewhat delusioned and sometimes disparated. But the exciting part of the book got going, and then suddenly I get into this relationship with someone, and then another woman comes into play, and it was not a good relationship. And towards the end, towards the middle of that, I find my car got stolen. The story takes place in New England, in Springfield, Massachusetts, and it spans from Vermont to Long Island. And the very beginning of the book has a nice flashback about a waterfall harrowing experience in canoes that my brother and my father and I had in 1968.
So, what is the main message you want to get across to your readers with this book?
The main message is I found writing the book a great feeling when I finished it. It's empowering, and the book can be, whether you're looking for fun reading or interesting reading, I think that's what I want to get to the message to the reader.
Where did your journey as an author begin? Where did it all start?
Yeah, it started when I was unskilled in work, and I started writing, just keeping notes, a journal. And, it took a long time to finish it up, but that's how I kept at it. Don't give up on it. Yeah.
So, is this book a standalone, or is it a part of the series?
One novel. That's it.
Okay. Do you plan to add on to it in the future?
Don't think so.
No. Would you if you had an idea to?
Yeah, maybe.
It kind of seems like you feel like it's just the story on itself.
Yeah, that's why I say I was glad to complete it, because that's, to me, that in reading a lot as a young man, that makes a good story. You know, to tie up loose ends. And you know, there are a lot of books out there that aren't bestsellers, but they're interesting reads. I enjoy them, and it's just I hope to get to the readers that they find it interesting and fun.
So who is your target audience, if you have a target audience?
Probably lay people, you know, ordinary working class people, maintenance people working in maintenance, or yeah, pretty much young people, teenagers, maybe, and even people that are looking for inspiration to get out of doldrums and feelings and stuff.
Okay. So what does a literary success look like to you, or what makes you feel successful as an author?
Well, to me, the big sale would be phenomenal, but the fact that I finished the book and that it's completed, it really contents me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because it's like, yeah, it would make you feel successful for people to buy your book, but like the real success was you being able to finish it, being able to hold it, being able to see somebody else hold your book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's such a, like, I mean, yeah, sure, everybody will feel successful when their book is selling, but like the real part that makes you feel successful is like, wow, I finally did it. I'm finally holding this book.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about writing this book?
The favorite part, of course, was writing it. Yeah, you can't deny that, writing.
Okay, so actually getting the ideas down.
Yeah.
Okay. On the other hand, what was the hardest part, or the part you struggled with the most?
Well, the hardest part was proofreading it at the end. Proofreading it and coming up with a title.
So what is your biggest source of inspiration? Why did you write this book? What gave you that inkling to start?
You know, I had a close friend before years ago that suggested I should write a book. And I got into the situation where I had the time and I wanted to write, and I started to write. And the inspiration, the suggestion became an inspiration, but there was a lot of perspiring before the inspiration came about.
What is some advice you wish somebody gave you before you started writing? Or what's something you wish you knew in the beginning?
Well, I think that another tough part of writing the book was piecing it all together. You know, you have somewhat of an idea, but the idea can be widespread, and you have to bring it into concise format. That's part of the writing that is tantalizing. Yeah,
totally. I totally get you there.
Yeah.
So I feel like you brushed up on this a little bit, but are you pleased with the outcome of this book?
Yes, I am. I'm not displeased. No, I'm happy with happy with what I accomplished. And it gets a good feeling.
So is there anything else you want to talk about or mention before we wrap this up?
Just that I hope that people will pick up a copy and for junk food for the mind.
Yeah, I hope so too, honestly. And I do have one more question that I feel like I may already have the answer to, but why did you choose to rewrite this book? Why are you rewriting? Why are you
Writing it. Oh, no, it's not really rewriting so much. It was just that the first times I printed it, it wasn't the layout was not how I would like it. I mean, there were name changes. I used fictitious names, but I used my own real name as a protagonist. That was the only other change. Other than that, it's the same. Oh, well, yeah, it is. It does change, but yes, you're right. Because it got better. Developments got better at the end of the story. I think that it made it more exciting that, his car got stolen. He's getting so interested in cars. I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, and the car is stolen, ends up in Back Bay Station in Boston. So, I thought I really could put some excitement into it. I guess that's the change. Yeah.
Where can readers find out more about you and your books?
Well, of course, through Authors Press, right? Through Amazon.com. I got 5-star reviews on Amazon.com the first time I went around, and those two avenues. Yeah.
And how do you feel about working with Authors Press?
It's very informative, and they're very polite, and also I don't know the inner workings out there in California, but certainly they seem to keep on top of everything, on top of what's going of their own basics.
And is there anything that we could do to help better our services for you?
No, everything is good. I think everything is very good with authorspress.com.
I'm glad you feel that way.
I'd love to go out there and visit someday.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe someday in the future, you could discuss a in-person book signing right here in our bookstore.
Yeah.
And that does cost money, of course, so I'm not going to tell you to do something that you couldn't afford for whatever reason, but that option is totally there, and it's so fun. You can see our local bookstore here. We would be hosting it here. Yeah, it would totally recommend, and I would be there. I'm there at all of them.
Good.
So.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for meeting with me. It's been really interesting talking to you about your book.
Yes, and likewise. Okay. Have a good afternoon. Thanks.
If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to Authors Press. But other than that, that's all.
Okay.
And this has been James Young, the author of The White Dove, and my name is Nicole Richardson from Authors Press. Thanks for tuning in.